closing over the phone. Let's talk about taking a risk. Let's talk about the consequences. And most importantly, let's develop that information to fall through a story. Make it realistic, make it tangible, make it fun. Create a story to make it more tangible, and customers are going to appreciate this. Because let me remind you, first of all, customers don't have the knowledge, don't have the information you do. They don't see insurance the way we do. See, we're the professional. We know that insurance could eventually cause a lot of issues if you don't have it. So we know the pros and cons. They don't. So simply by creating a story, making it fun, making it realistic, is going to make a better and more stronger impact, because they're going to understand exactly what you mean. So it's not just getting the same information that everyone tells you. Look, you get a ticket, or you need insurance if you get involved in an accident. That's just basic. That's just basic information. So your goal definitely is to make it as realistic as possible, so that whenever you're giving them information, the customer understands exactly what you mean, and most importantly, they can visualize. Okay, listen to this. They need to visualize the situation. So I'll give you an example. First of all, let's talk about a ticket. Okay. Now, let's say a customer tells you, no, I don't want to make it. The time obstacle, the time objection. I don't have any time. I'll just do it next month. I'll do it next month. I'll do it whenever I have time. So you can tell them, sir, I completely understand, and I know time is of the essence. Time is money. Time is important. And you know what? I'm a busy guy just like you, but let me share something with you. Now, simply, you could get pulled over, you get a ticket. That's a lot of money out of pocket. Now, let me share this with you, which is very, very important, okay? Now, have you driven at any point and, felt a little bit paranoid because, maybe you see an officer, or have you noticed on occasions when you're driving by and you see officers, especially the ones on motorcycle, that they're just sitting, waiting to capture their next victim? Have you seen that? Right? We all do. Matter of fact, I saw that earlier today. I was driving on my way to work, and on one of the corners, I see an officer. As soon as I made a right, I see an officer hidden, just waiting. They're just waiting for a victim. Now, I don't want you to be a victim. See, you don't control those situations. You don't really have to make a lot of mistakes, but simply, if an officer runs your plates, automatically they're going to determine you don't have insurance. That's a ticket. Now, $700 to $1,000, that's how much it's going to cost you. Now, let me ask you, do you have that money to throw away? Because if you do, why don't you just drop it off? Give it to me. I need money. I'm pretty sure you need money as well. So you don't have those $700 to $1,000 just to throw away. It doesn't make sense for you to throw money away. Now, let me give you another way of looking at this. Now, you have a family, correct? Now, let me just ask you a question. Would it be beneficial, or do you feel that you could use those $500, $700, or $1,000, for something productive? Do you feel that you could use those $700, $1,000, and maybe take your kids to Disneyland, for example, take them on a trip, or just take them, to Chuck E. Cheese, or take your wife out to dinner, take her out to a date, movie and a dinner. Do you think you can use that money for those things? Because that's what I want you to do. I want you to keep your money, and for you to use it for something that actually benefits you, to use it for something that's beneficial for you, something that for sure your money went into something that satisfies you. Now, paying those $500, $700, or $1,000 to court, that's a waste of money. And I don't know if you've ever gotten a ticket. I haven't, luckily, but I remember when I was a young adult, I got a couple tickets. I gave thousands of dollars to court. Not anymore. They're not going to keep $1 from me. I'm going to make sure that I do whatever I need to keep my money, because I want to use my money, even if it's $1, I want to use it for something that benefits me. So do me a favor, what time can you make it in? Because I don't want you to put yourself in that situation. That's how you use the closing within a ticket and creating a story. Now let's talk about an accident. Now I'm gonna create a story of a previous customer to make it fun, to make it realistic. I'll use a couple different examples, but you have to create a story. Now, Mr. Customer, I understand you don't have any time. I understand you this is maybe not as important as it should be. And trust me, I felt at one point, just like you, that insurance was not as important, but I understood at one point that it is, and I want you to at least look at the situation a little bit different. Let me share a quick story. I don't mean to take a lot of time away from you, but let me share a quick story. I had a customer last month, okay, similar to you, didn't have any time, worked a lot, wasn't really interested in setting up an appointment, didn't really want to show up to the appointment. There's nothing I can do. I mean, my job is just to help you, give you information. That's it. There's no obligation whatsoever, so I appreciate the time and effort you're giving me, but ultimately it's your decision. Well, this client, just to share with you, didn't make it. I followed up almost every week. He said, just call me every week, remind me every week, remind me every week. So that's exactly what I did. I called, I reminded him every single week, once a week, because I didn't really want to, be of a burden and constantly bother him. And either way, he gave me the okay to call him weekly. So I call him every week, same story. No, Rudy, not this week. Rudy, I'm busy this week. Yeah, at one point I told him, look, tell me something. You give me a different excuse, because it's the same thing. Matter of fact, do you have a recording message? Because it's the same message you're giving me every single week. But to make the story short, it went on for a little bit over, maybe a little bit exceeding the month. And I kept following up every Monday, giving him a call. He's on my schedule for me to call him. Same thing. Well, just about a week ago, okay, he made it to the office. Actually, before the Monday, he made it on a Saturday, okay? He made it on a Saturday, and he purchased a policy. The only problem now, okay, because he has a vehicle and it's a new vehicle, that he was involved in an accident, okay? It was a hit and run. It wasn't nothing major, so I don't want to exaggerate. It wasn't major, but he didn't have insurance, okay? He didn't have his liability. He didn't have his full coverage. And most importantly, the full coverage, because he's driving a 2018. He's driving a 2018. It's a Toyota Camry. That vehicle is worth at least a good $20,000 to $30,000, depending on the model and the features. But $20,000 to $30,000 vehicle that he's driving, that he's still paying every single month, that he's working hard to pay for this vehicle, and he didn't have insurance. So now he got insurance, but he wasn't able to get full coverage, just liability, because now the vehicle has damages. So at least he got liability, which is fantastic, because I don't want him to get a ticket, but he needs to pay those damages, fix the damages out of pocket. So that's going to cost him, I believe, he said like $2,800. That's $2,800. That's a lot of money. His policy was gonna be like $140, $150 a month, for example, because he has a couple of tickets. But it's going to cost him $2,500 to fix, when he could have just paid about the $140, $150, and he's out. He would have been out the door. Had the full coverage, he would have paid a lot less. He would have paid just a deductible, but not the $2,500. Now he needs to fix the vehicle and then come back and then add comp and collision, because he's still driving without full coverage, simply because he's not able to get full coverage unless he fixes the car. So if he would have taken a little bit of time, if he would have squeezed in, the 15, 20 minutes that I asked him just to come to the office and set up his insurance, he would have been okay. Now he needs to pay money out of pocket. He's upset. He's blaming everybody. He should have done this. He should have done that, but it's already too late. So my job is to help you eliminate being in that position. Okay, so what time can you make it in? Now, let me give you another example of the same, accident. So, Mr. Customer, I completely understand. I understand. I appreciate the time and effort. I understand you're busy. I'm busy as well. We have something in common. We're busy. Everybody's busy. The whole world is busy. Every human being is busy. But I need you to do me a favor. I need you to squeeze in a little bit of time. I need you to give me an opportunity. Let me help you. I really care about your situation. Now, let me ask you a quick question. When was the last time that you're driving, okay, maybe on the freeway, maybe on the street, but mainly on the freeway, I guess, and, maybe there's an accident on the other side, so you get distracted, and, everyone's doing the same thing. Everyone's looking, Everyone wants to be part of what's going on. Everyone wants to see exactly what's on the other side. What exactly is the situation? So, when was the last time that you actually drove and you didn't realize that the traffic stopped in front of you, and for a bit of a moment you almost hit the vehicle in front of you? Technically, you pressed the brake right in time, and you were maybe just a couple inches away from hitting the other vehicle, and you just got scared, and you got to rush because you're like, oh my God, I almost hit a vehicle. When was the last time that happened to you? Because just to share with you, that happened to me yesterday. Okay, driving home, I got distracted because I was tired, and then for a second, I almost hit a vehicle. I was so grateful that I didn't. I would have been stressful. I would have been so upset. But when was the last time that happened to you? They're gonna answer. They're gonna tell you maybe last week or last month, whatever it is. But it's happened to everybody. So then tell them, look, so just imagine for a second, sir, just imagine, follow me for a second. Just put yourself in that position. Just imagine that you didn't come back to reality within enough time and you hit a vehicle and now you're involved in an accident. What would be the first thing that comes up to your mind? Or what's the first thing you would say? Of course, why me? Holy macaroni. I should have paid attention. What's wrong with me? I can't believe this is happening to me. Oh my God. Oh Lord Jesus. You're gonna say every phrase that's out there. But the reality is, you're gonna be upset. You're gonna blame everybody. But there's no one to blame. It's just you. So you have an opportunity today, sir, because I don't want you to be in that position. Okay, I don't want you to be in that position. I don't want you to be in a situation that you can prevent today. So how soon, what time can you make it in? Matter of fact, I have an appointment available at 5 or 7. Can you make it in within that time? That's more than enough time for you to ask for permission and leave a little bit early, but I need you to take care of this today. I don't want you to continue, not even an additional day. It's not fair. You don't deserve this. You don't deserve to be in that situation. You can't predict the future, so eventually you may put yourself in that situation. So how soon can you make it in? Use this tool, make it realistic, make it tangible. It works, but you have to be confident. You have to know how to say it, how to phrase it. It's just going with the flow of the story, creating a story, creating something realistic, something that they're going to relate to, something that they're going to say, yes, you know what, it happened to me yesterday, or almost, or it happened to me today, and agree with them. Tell them, look, it almost happened to me today. Trust me, use it. It's a very powerful closing tool.